Podcast. Hello and welcome to Emma's podcast. In today's podcast, we're going to be talking about I have no idea, so we're going to get started because this is the kind of days that I like to do not plan anything. This is what I do when I do my podcast, unless there is something that really bugs me that I need to talk about or I need the feel to talk about. Not only bugs me, but I have to send messages. So we don't know. We're going to go with the flow. This is the last of the week. Yes, and I'm trying to get better a little bit because I restarted my podcast, but somehow over the rainbow I'm making noises. It's like I'm way too comfortable with my stuff here. I'm laughing. I'm like, Emma, you're way too comfortable with your chaos here, which I am pretty much in all when it comes down to chaos, which is funny actually. If you knew how I run my show, you would say, oh, Emma, this is not like you. But you know what? We take it easy. We don't have to be perfect. Perfection is only in the eyes of what we feel is perfect because perfection is everywhere, even in imperfection world. So this is what it's all about. But let's talk about life in general. Here right now in Minnesota, I must say, compared to others, we have enjoyed a pretty nice weather until a couple of days ago where we got, that was for Valentine's Day actually, decided to let it slow, let it snow, which, it happens. This is life here. But looking at the overall part of our lives, it's very interesting to see how we grow and evolve because we can go from running like a chicken without head to finally learn to ground ourselves, take care of our own self, being able to really embrace every single side of who we truly are. And there is side of us who are pretty much ugly. Seriously, I am not gonna be lying and said everything is pretty hunky-dory and I'm perfect. That would be a flat out lie because this is not true. We are who we are, but we are always evolving, changing, grounding ourselves, learning to be mindful. I think one of the biggest words I'm learning right now and I am so resonating with is being mindful. Discover who we truly are. Having the beauty of the world at our fingertip, but being able to be humble of situation, humble about life in general. Somebody said something to me a while ago, and that person said it when it wasn't, I would said, happy skippy, which happen in life. But one thing that that person mentioned to me, and it really made me think twice, if it's not more than twice, is just to really show us that even though we might feel unhappy in our own life, we can transform our lives to a place of beauty and wonders. We also have to realize we can do things in a way that will help us to really move it up to the next level. We are who we are. However, we always have option to change who we truly are to another version of ourselves. And I really appreciate what we can be when we feel challenged. People will challenge us. Situation will challenge us. Not because they want to try to make us unhappy, but to just truly embrace who we truly are. When we are here to push ourselves into a beautiful synergy, that's what is so beautiful. I love the fact that you can look at yourself in the mirror, looking in your eyes, and you're going to see your spirit. Maybe you're not going to like your outer shell, but you're going to have to make peace with it. Maybe you don't like your spirit in there. Maybe you feel trapped. But there is ways for all of us to really evolve in a way that will bring mindfulness, peace in our lives. I have lived a life of chaos for so long. Not because I created the chaos, but I have to live with the chaos in order to change, to evolve, to transform, in order to move on to where I needed to be. Was it everyday fun? No. There are some days that were very interesting, actually. But it doesn't mean that we have to really think the life of transformation is a life where we don't go anywhere. We do. We do go when life push us to the next level. We are here when we feel we are being challenged. The beauty of being who we truly are is to transform ourselves to a place of wonders. It's really bringing ourselves to that beautiful space where transformation will not happen if for 1 minute we did not have a full time, a full space for our own self and really, truly embrace who we truly are. Our transformation, our path are so different, are so elegant, are so us, for us to be in a world of transformation. That's what we do, the world of transformation. So our lives are like an adventures. See it as just a wild ride. See it as the discovery. You're here to discover enchanted territory. And we're going to go through cycles, through the ups and downs that life brings us. But what I love with everything we do in our lives is setting up our intentions. What is your intentions? Seriously, be honest. Talk to yourself. One thing that you need to do is set your intentions. Like when I speak with people and we talked about setting up intention, and I've, gave the word of wisdom when I do some of my coaching. The first thing I ask is, what is your intention? What is the intent? What are you trying to convey? What are you trying to do that helps you to transform yourself? I cannot transform yourself. You are the one who are able to do it. But what is your intention? And are they the true intention you've got? Or is it another agenda underneath? Or are you worried about something? Or fill out the blank. Life of transformation is a life of beauty, but the beauty within you. Beauty comes from the inside out. A lot of people look for the typical beauty coming from out of her body. We only look at the shell. Oh, she's a perfect day. Oh, he's a stud. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Depends on the criteria. But when they start to open their mouth, most of them are like, oh boy, maybe it's better if you smile and don't talk. Because the beauty within you will come out, then it's good or not. What really makes a person is the energy of that person. You can be an average person, what they call average, because, through the standard of the ego world, through the ages, beauty had a standard. That standard never fit everybody else's, to be honest with you. And you know what? If we were supposed to have a standard in beauty, then we will be all looking like the same. But we don't. Think about this for a minute. But when you're transforming your life, it's coming within yourself. If you see somebody on the street that radiate love and peace and joy within them, and you're looking at them and say, wow, that person looks happy. That person looks whole. That person looks, they have it all. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But it's all based on the attitude, all based on the energy. And you have people that will back and you feel like the weight, they are basically carrying the weight of the world. And you're like, no, I do not want to carry the weight of the world on my shoulder. Neither do I want any monkeys and circus that doesn't belong to me. Off you go, people. But think about it. You need to really set up your intentions. What do you want to do in your life? What do you want to accomplish? What is the next things you want to do? What are your dreams and your goals? And the bolder, the better. Seriously. But think about it. And this is what I love with the transformation we're going in. It's what can we do to elevate ourselves to a place of wonder, of beauty. That transformation that happened for a crazy reason. The life of 1,000 is a life of wonders, and we are the master of our own destiny. A lot of people are afraid. Oh my God, if people know, then I do this, and I'm gonna be afraid because what is my family gonna think? What is my mate's gonna think? What is this? What is that? And it's like, well, if you start to worry about everybody around you, but just focus on yourself, guess what? You'll see. Who cares? Having the life of 1,000, having a life of transformation, doing what we love to do makes a huge difference. Some people are going to be afraid. Some people are going to be mocking you, mocking us. Oh my God, they got their own business. Oh my God, they do this. This is so stupid, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? You're doing it. We are doing it. We are transforming ourselves, and we're doing something that we love to do. And only that transformation, when you see this, you see the person smiling, happy, and you're like, wow, that person looks so happy. Yes, because they do what they love to do. Even maybe they be struggling right away. Maybe there is ups and downs in the business, but guess what? That life of transformation is unbelievable. That ride, I want to say this. When I started and I dreamed about it over past 2 decades ago, and when I did it, and I was so scared, I'm like, holy crap, my ego was just like, yeah, you gotta do this. It gave me every excuse in the world to do not start it. I got it in. I had all of them. But the universe wasn't gonna let me go this easily and just kick my butt. I said, no, you're gonna do it. Wow, what a transformation I've gone through. From somebody shy who would never share stories in life, because for years my story was in the vault. I wasn't going to share my story. I wasn't going to go through it. Guess what? I did a 360 and started to share. At the beginning I did not, but I started to share my story, not to, like I said, even when I talked about the fire and everything else that happened to me, I don't want anybody crying for me because I don't give a crap. It's not about crying. It's sharing a story, because people have story to tell. And sometimes when you hear a similar story or a similar struggle, you're like, okay, if that person can do it, then I'm doing it too. Finding and helping people to get the strength to get to the next steps. That's what it's all about. So for me, sharing my story has nothing to do with spectacles or, oh my God, I want 10 million people to listen to my story and cry me some rivers. Not at all. It's about sharing a story to inspire somebody at the opposite end of the world that will be listening to it and be inspired. It's not cry me some rivers. I don't care. Keep your Kleenex, keep your sorrow and your sadness. That had nothing to do with who I am. This is a life of transformation. This is what I have to do. We call it the black bread because in the ancient, and I said Middle Age world, in 1400, 1300, 1100, the bread that we now are buying is a little bit more expensive, which is the grain, was considered for the poor. That's called the black bread. And the white bread was for the blue blood, which I mean the local duke, duchess, king, queens, count, etc., etc. What do you call it, sir, or anything, anything of has money. Rich were eating the white bread, and the grain was for the poor. So we use, and we're still using this, which is good because actually it's based on history. So it's good to have a little bit of history and understand where some of those sentences, phrases, anecdote are coming from. So eating black bread, it's like, well, okay, I'm going to eat my black bread. But at the end of the day, when I overcome all of this, then I'm going to grow. Then I'm going to realize that huge mountain that I thought was just a little hiccup right there. It's amazing to see the transformation. Like somebody, oh yes, I'm coming back to somebody that mentioned to me, that I erased the fact that my house burned down, then I had a fire, and I'm like, no, I did not erase that. However, it happened a few months ago. I lost everything, and you're like, okay, what happens? What do you want me to do? Start to cry and be a victim? No, it happens. Now there's more things to do for me, so I did, and I had my own moment. There was one Saturday afternoon where I had all my papers, the rest of the papers that I had, and I burned everything down. Actually, some paperwork I had, and I didn't. You trim down everything, and it's like, well, some of the stuff I had, and it was the saddest part actually. Then I had, then I parts away with a bunch of stuff, which I already trimmed it down, but it's just like saying goodbye to who you are, because 22 years got erased in less than 7 hours of fire and water. But you make your own, I would say that, funeral of it and get closure, and then you move on. That's all. So for people, when I speak about this, you're not going to see me crying and, oh my God, no, this is not. This is what happened. This is where I am today, because you have to move forward. There is a point in life you need to realize, I can be a victim, cry and going nowhere, or harness what I've got, move forward. Don't know where I'm going, but I'm going to go somewhere. The universe has my back, and I'm moving forward. So you look at your life and said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is what's going to happen. This is where I'm going to be. And that is it. Do the same. So speaking about what happened in our life, there is worse conditions. Think about 5 minutes. When you remove yourself from the equation, you become the observer of your life. Realize what there is around the world. There is people in worse condition than you. They do better than you. So why are you crying? I learned this when I was 15 years old. I had a pretty bad car crash accident. Didn't know if my hand, one of them, would be amputating more fingers than anything else in there, because it wasn't healing, which I didn't realize that. Everybody were freaking out. It took a month and a half before my body decided to start to heal, which was good actually at the end of the day. But when I got out of the hospital the day after the accident, didn't keep me for long on this one. My mom wanted me to sit down and do nothing. It was summertime. I'm like, I don't think so. I need to clean up, sweep the floor, wash the floor. And I started to do it. Why? Because this came to me. Again, I'm going to say it again. There is people in worse condition than we are. They are doing better than we do. So why are you complaining? The earth continues to turn and run. So what are you going to do? Sit down and cry, or get going? Get going is option number one. And two, then I took, and I did not care. When people are coming and saying, poor you, please stop these people, because it doesn't do anything for me. A prayer is more powerful than I'm sorry. I don't need sadness. I don't need somebody to cry over me. A lot of people don't want this. What we want is get going, get moving, get inspired. It is challenging what we have to face in our lives, but we have to realize not everything is happening because we've done something wrong. It's happening because it needs to be done in order for us to change the way and the path we're on. And sometimes I would say pretty much, like I said to the universe, extreme, That as a little joke, and I will continue to laugh, because I said it that night, I'm like, are you freaking kidding me, universe? When I was sitting on my on the chair in my bedroom, and I was just talking to the universe, and I said, well, I would like to do this, I would like to move, I would like to blah, 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 and make sure that I'm not losing the home, because I would like to do this, and I thank you. Less than 6 hours later, I got the answer. I'm like, oh, thank you, universe. You have a very, very weird sense of humor, but I love you very much. You got a plan. I know you got one. You got my back. Let's figure it out. And it was the total unknown. The unknown is the scary place to be in, but it's the fun place to be in as well, when you know the universe has your back. It's amazing to see, as an observer, in the middle of the chaos, the transformation, see strangers coming, see the help coming one way or the other. It's amazing to realize also, and you'll see it at work. When you work on projects, have you ever had projects that went sideways from the beginning? Those are the worst projects. The projects that got to go sideways at the beginning, you know it's going to be a hell of a ride from beginning to end. It is not going to stop. So the only thing you got to do is make sure you're babysitting every single step. The most interesting part of it is you have people coming in for helping and straight out things. Have you ever noticed that? If not, think about a project that wasn't working in your business. And all of a sudden, things started to course correct itself. That's the magic of the universe. Same in your personal life. Think about the moment where you did not try to lead anything, but things started to fall in places. In place. That's how it works. I use the example of the fire because for me, that's one of the most relatable to talk about, for people to realize, crap, it's not luck. It's the universe magic. Somebody said to me, oh, you're lucky. I said, no, I'm not. Luck has nothing to do with it. The universe has my back. That's different. I don't use luck. I know the universe has my back. If you start to talk that way, the universe has my back. It's your problem. Figure out how to pay this. Figure out how to bring the money. Figure out this. It's not my problem. It's yours. Make it happen. Thank you. Very grateful for it. That's all. I'm not crying. I'm not begging. I'm not on my knees crying. Oh, no. I know for certainty it's in the hands of the universe and it's going to deliver one way or the other. And they do every single time. But again, it is up to us to decide how do we want to approach this. I am not a victim. Everything that happened in my life has brought me where I am today. Would I have done things differently? Yeah, I would have said some of the life lessons I've learned. I should have been less stubborn on some of them, and that would have been fine. But do I have any resentment? No, I'm not. I'm good. Every people who have done wrong to me, I don't hold any grudges. You know why? Because I don't give a crap. I don't have time for it. All of the pieces of me are within me. It is not scattered around the world. Learn mindfulness. Learn who you truly are. And I know it's hard. It comes to a point we need somebody's help. And it's nice to have somebody you can bounce back some of your thoughts to help you to refocus yourself. That's the beauty of it. So this was our podcast for today. It is the last one of the week. Don't know what we're going to be talking about next week, but I'm truly inspired today. It's beautiful. I'm going to go outside and I'm going to be taking picture of the sunset. Yes, I was ready sunrise. Sunset. Just because I can. So all my love, guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye now.